It has been quite a while since we last talked, 5 months, I think, to be exact. And the last time I spoke to you guys, it was about slow processing speed, and I got a lot of responses and a lot of people who can relate to that video. And I think a lot of you guys did come from that video, so welcome. Thank you so much for subscribing and hopping on to this community that I'd like to build. That's amazing. But of course, right now, let's focus on the big elephant in the room with this situation, this pandemic going on. I feel like it's the pandemic that shall not be named because they're saying that, like, if you say the word on YouTube, they won't really promote your video or anything. So I'm just going to not say it. But you all know what I'm talking about, and I'm going to annotate it here somewhere. So, yeah, I know it has been crazy, obviously, and I just want to share some of my thoughts on it, see if anyone here can relate, and just offer some words of support and maybe encouragement. I don't know how much I can, encourage people out there who are struggling, but just wanted to offer some kind of support in some way. I guess I'll start with sharing what's been going on with me. Well, it's been really difficult for me. My family are out of the country, so um, it's just me and my partner. So it's nice that I have a partner, but it doesn't make it any easier when you are worried for your family, when you're away from them. Um, Thankfully, we're in a world of the digital age where we can now Zoom and do Facebook messaging and FaceTime and all kinds of great things. So that's wonderful. But it feels really disconnected, and I am away from my friends, people I love. It's not easy. And of course, the actual pandemic, which is really scary. I'm worried about people in my family that are more susceptible. For example, my parents who are elderly, and my grandfather, and people who I know who are immunocompromised. These are all things that I worry about. And then just the normal people out there who are fighting the good fight and are essential workers. Thank you to any of you who are watching this who are essential workers right now. I cannot imagine the struggle, how scary it is, the fact that you're risking your life and your own emotions. You're putting that aside for the greater good, for other people, strangers. That's amazing, and you guys are true heroes. That includes all the frontliners, obviously, nurses, doctors, any kind of healthcare worker, delivery people, our mailmen, people in grocery stores, people who work in restaurants. And then there are those of us who are struggling just being at home, being stuck at home and feeling like it's like a little prison, or feeling disconnected, feeling lonely. And some of you guys are extroverts, so I know how difficult that might be for you. And even for introverts, even we need to have people. Everybody needs people. The world needs community. And one great thing is that that's kind of happening right now. People are really coming together and helping their neighbors and just being supportive, which is nice. Supportive in the distance. And then there are those of us who are struggling with our businesses. I am self-employed. I have my own business, and it's hard. I'm struggling with that, losing clients, or maybe you lost your job, or you were laid off or furloughed in some way, and you're not making money right now. You're not making as much. Maybe you don't have enough savings, or you're blowing through it. All of these things are scary and difficult to navigate. Okay, and it's not your fault. Who knew this would happen? Nobody saw it coming. And I myself feel like the pressure of now transitioning to this virtual business and not everybody has the luxury to do that, yeah, it's hard to navigate through this world right now, and finances are really scary. Even just wondering when we're going to be able to get out of all this. Is the world going to come out of this with security? How is the economy going to be? How are we going to react to this? Because there's trauma involved in this, not for everybody, but for definitely a lot of us. The anxiety, depression, any kind of mental illness that can play a role in this time. And will the world ever be the same? Well, I'm sure a lot of changes will happen, and it really goes to show that the system that we currently live in just isn't working. Mainly capitalism, at least here in the US. The people that are currently in office right now, I try to refrain from saying it, but a lot of lies coming from the administration. And I didn't want to get political, but I think it's important to share that sometimes, often actually, it's the powers that be that make it so it's difficult to move forward in life or to take care of this kind of crisis. So sometimes you have to think about that and know that sometimes it's not in your control what's happening, and you don't have to blame yourself. I've been feeling very unproductive, and I haven't been as productive as I'd like to be, definitely. And I sometimes feel like, oh, it's my fault. I should really start to think about my business, and I should work harder and clean the house and everything else. I should be healthier and exercise more, but I've just been feeling pretty blah. I haven't been in the mood to do anything, to be quite honest. Again, this was unprecedented, and we did not know this was going to happen, and we have no idea how to navigate through it. I also wanted to mention that I've been seeing a lot of these memes or infographics or whatever all over social media saying things like, if you don't come out of this with a new skill, or you don't come out of this, with your side hustle or your dream or whatever, then it was never a time. That was the problem. Was always like your discipline, but that doesn't take into account the trauma that happens through this, the mental health issues that can arise from this or exacerbated from this. That doesn't take into account the lack of energy that people are going through, the multitude of struggles that happen just day to day through all this. So, yeah, we don't know people's worries. We don't know what their resources are like right now. Sometimes it's just a matter of not having the privilege to do what we want to do. Even in quarantine, we don't have the money to invest, or we don't have even just the luxury to feel motivated or confident enough to do it. So I just want to say, don't listen to those like hustler or whatever, what is it called? Like rise and grind type entrepreneur websites or social media accounts that share those types of things. You listen to your body and think about your own emotions and what you can do right now, and think about what you can't control and know that that's not your fault. And yeah, that's one of the main ones I wanted to share as well. But the only thing we can do right now is be grateful for what we do have. And for those of us, or those of you who are struggling and don't know what you're going to do about rent next month, or whatever it may be, or even have someone who's ill in your family, or who's ill yourself, or if you're afraid because you're immunocompromised, or if you're more susceptible to catching the virus. I have so much empathy for you. I'm sorry that you're going through this, and know that it's not your fault. And the only thing we can do is Take it day by day, and know that it's not in your control. Be kind to yourself right now. Don't blame yourself. Know that you're not alone, that many other people are going through this. Okay? I know that helps me. And be grateful for those of us who have a roof over our heads right now, still have family that we can speak to via, virtually, or have a partner in our homes, or have pets that keep us happy and keep us company, have food in our fridges, in our pantries, have games to play. Those are all things to be grateful for, and focus on those right now. I don't know how helpful or maybe unhelpful this was, but I just hope that whoever and wherever you are, that you're doing well and that know that you're not alone. And if you can, reach out and help other people, okay? Whether that means giving your extroverted friend a call just to make sure that they're not feeling lonely, or maybe if you're able to do deliveries for your neighbor who's elderly or something like that, or just posting resources on your social media accounts. Those are all wonderful ways to spread community, show love, and try to help other people out. With that said, you can connect with me on my Instagram. Feel free to DM me anytime if you're having your own struggles. And yeah, I'll leave a link for all that below. And I hope you have a good, rest of the week, I guess. And I'll try to put out a video again next week. We'll see. I don't know if you noticed, but the quality of this video is lower because I'm using my iPhone. Because I just didn't want to lose the momentum of setting up my whole camera. I just wanted to kind of speak from the heart right now. I don't have a script or anything on me, so if it just was rambly, I apologize. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll talk to you guys later.